Okay, thank you so much. I'm Juvenal Safari and I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University for Kepler program. I'm currently working on a Bachelor of Art in Communication with a concentration in a business. And right now I'm going to talk more about credibility and validity project in Go Behind the News. So I'm going to analyze 3 stories which are concerned that terror teams have selected target ready to strike from the ABC News source, and the second one is Great for You Food Laboring Initiative, and the source is the Walmart. So the third one is titled Grief and Protest Teenager, and the source is New York Times. So starting from the first point, which is independent versus self-interested, on the first story, the source of story is independent. This is because there is no interest of ABC News reported story, and it is commonly expected to cover the topic from a disinterested perspective. So here the story was showing more about the attack which held in the Europe, the terrorists to attack the European countries. So moving forward to the second point, which is multiple source versus one source. This source, I found that it presents multiple sources. This is because there are multiple reporters from different countries who are talking about the terrorist attack at European countries. For instance, there are 2 reporters, one from London, which is Rama, and the second one, which is Thomas from in New York. So with this, there will be different sources of news where some reporters are on the field so that they might provide some information which are reliable due to that they are on the fields. So moving forward to the third point, which is verified versus assert, I found that the source of information is verified. The reason why I said this is verified, it is because in the story there are different evidences as well as some fact which shows the way European countries should be attacked by the terrorists. For instance, there is visible terror act evidence because some of terrorists were captured, and the reporter shows us that it is true that some terrorists were being captured in different countries. So with this, there will be different countries like England, Paris, and Germany were some countries which were targeted. So with this, I found that the resource is verified as there will be the evidences and some fact from people there. So moving to the another point, which is authoritative and informed versus uninformed, I found that the source of a story is showing authoritative and is informed. This is because the reporter used to ask some people in the security services on the attack. Also, it is informed due to the reporter asking other reporters from different countries like Thomas, Rama, and they are in the European countries or the targeted countries in the Europe. So moving to the other point, which is named versus unnamed, the source of story is named. The reason why is because the author or the main reporter of the story tried to use people who were on the field of different countries of Europe like France, Great Britain, and other countries. Again, the reporters in this country, including Thomas and Rama, used to ask some people in charge of security how they are looking the situation. For instance, Lama asked George in Britain how the country is ready to fight against the terrorist attack expected. So with this, the source was named as there will be some names of people including in the story. So moving to the second news story, which is Great for You Food Laboring Initiative in the Walmart as the resource, I found that the source of story is self-interested. The reason of saying this is because there is some interest of Walmart in the reported story. With this, I found that Walmart used the story here, which was advertisement or promoting some product of the company, including vegetables and other fruit. Moving to the second point, multiple versus one source, I found the source of the story is multiple. It is because the source of story is reported by two reporters who are Firni and Andrea Thomas. Also, they are both talking about Walmart and Great For You food. They were also like attracting many customers to their product, which are vegetables and fruit. So with this, they are like making advertise of their product. So moving to the third one, which is verify this asset, I found that the story is showing verification or is verified. This is because the reporter tried to convince the consumer on how good it is to have these vegetables as well as the fruit. Also, it shows the audience the product for Great For You food. The audience were able like to found or to show like the products that the Walmart were advertising. For instance, they were able to touch to vegetables as well as other fruit. Again, here like the Walmart used like to convince the customers of that product, where they tried like to speak more about the importance of fruit as well as vegetable to the life of people. So moving to the other point, which is authoritative and informed versus uninformed, I found that the reporters of this story are aware of knowing what they are talking about, and this shows that the source of story was authoritative and informed. Also, the reporters are saying more about the Walmart products, which are vegetables and fruit. With this, it shows the clear knowledge of the reporters to the product they are talking. They have some interest or some benefit while advertising their product. So moving to the other point, which is named versus unnamed, I found that the source of story is named. This is because they try to use the names of reporters who are talking about the Great For You food product, which are vegetables and fruit. Even though it is named, but it showed some bias, like mixing of many people who are coming to buy the product, but they did mention their names. So with this, I found that in one side it is named as there will be some names of the people in who were buying the product of the company. Moving forward to the last one news story, which is Grief and Protest Teenage from the New York Times source. I found the story is independent. The reason of saying this, it is because the story to be independent, it shows like no connection, interest, and benefit from the reporters. From the reporters to the story. The story was talking about the protest held on due to the shooting of teenage boy. With this, there was like no interest, benefit from the reporters to the story they used to report to the audience. Moving to the multiple source versus one source, I found that the source was written by two people, and this shows that it is multiple source. Again, the writers used police officer and other people in order to talk more about the shooting of teenage boy and the protest occurred due to that case. Moving to the next point, which is verified versus asset, I found the source of this narrative has verified the information. With this, there was some evidence, fact, some pictures as the way of making the audience more engaged and showing that the authors of this story is more reliable, is trustable. Again, here once again the source of this story employs the real name of the deceased boy or the boy whom died who were shot by the policeman. So finally, according to how I read the story, I found that the reporter has the evidence as well as the fact and some pictures which emphasize from people who were in the road protest, as well as the parent of the boy who were shot by the policeman. Here the source of this story is authoritative and informed, I found the reason why of saying this, it is because the writers tried to inform what happened by asking different people. For instance, he used one side of police and it is involved in the case. Again, they used the other party of people as the witness of the case happened. Finally, it is authoritative and they used to ask some question to the police officer to talk more about the shooting of teen walking by a policeman. So, moving to the last point, which is named versus unnamed, I found that the source of story was named. This is because in the source there is the names of the presenters as well as other concerned people who talked about the shooting. They tried to mention the names of people in the story. So I found the last one. I found that in this story there was like different names of people involved in the issue, and this shows that the source was named as the names of people who were involved or in the source of story. So thank you. This is the end of this analysis.